about this project. A lot of steps are super slow. So this is F221, and this is one I really wanted to have here, where you get to see what it's like to examine a real Windows disk image, which is something you often have to do, but probably the main lesson you're going to learn from this is why forensic examiners pay for such big, powerful machines. Everything takes forever, and this is a really old Windows image that's only 20 gigs, which is really small, probably from the days of Windows XP or something, and then they've zipped it. And they split it into 3 files. So this is a public repository, the Digital Corpora for Forensic Trainers. I think it's Digital Corpora. It's from NIST.gov. So you have to download these 3 files, 7zip001, 7zip002, and 7zip003. Those 3 files together add up to 5 gigabytes. And when I downloaded them, it took about 10 minutes to download them. So I needed 5 gigs for that. Now the first thing you should do, of course, is make sure you have enough room. So you go to your PC. Here, I had about 70 gigs free. So you're going to have about 25 gigs free or more, because you need to download 5 gigs of stuff, and when you unzip it, it's going to unzip to 20 gigs. So it took about 10 minutes to download it. Then I had to unzip it, which is here. You go to Downloads, right-click, go to More Options, 7-zip, and extract here. You just go to the first one to unzip it, and it will automatically know that it should include all 3 files numbered in order. So that will unzip and create this 20 gig file down here. This is it. It's a DD image, which is a digital duplicate image. So this is 21 gigabytes of hard drive, exactly the way it was on the evidence machine. Now we're going to put that in Autopsy. So let me launch Autopsy. All right, and then we'll have to make a new case. F221, I think this is. And this case is extra credit because if you have a slow internet connection or a small hard drive at home, you might not be able to do this one. So if your equipment doesn't support it, then just do a different project instead. F221, next. And F221, finish. All right, and while that's preparing the database, I'm going to go look at the instructions, which are here. But I think I know what to do. It's just a disk image. So I could verify the hash, and I didn't do that. Be a good thing to do, though. And there's a flag there. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out how to get a CRC32 if you don't have hashcalc. Hashcalc doesn't exist anymore. I'm going to have to update this with, you can't do a CRC32 in PowerShell. So I'll have to update this with a way to get CRC32. So now you import the evidence image with a disk image or VM, next. And change the time zone to Toronto, next. And clear all the marks except recent activity. This is real important to try to make it faster because it's going to be real slow. So that's what I was looking for. Disk activity, Toronto, and recent activity. So all right. I skipped 2 slow processes before starting the video, but this one I can't easily skip, so it'll take a while. All right, it's done making the database container to put the case in, and now I got to import the data. Splunk is a very similar process. We've been doing it in the CNET 50 class, importing data into Splunk. Windows is convenient but slow. All right, I generate a host name. I don't care what the host name is. Okay, I want a disk image. All right, next. Now I want to go to my disk image, which is in my downloads folder. And it is this thing, the DD file. All right, and now I want to change it to GMT-5, Toronto. Well, I think any GMT-5 would do, but anyway, Toronto's all right. Okay, and next. And like I say, now clear everything. What if there's deselect all and have only recent activity? Let me make sure I'm doing this right because it's going to be slow and I don't want to have to do it again. Okay. Clear everything except recent activity. Okay, fair enough. Then next. This process may take some time for large data sources. And there it is. See, going through all these Windows files, it's finding in there. Program files, config, Microsoft Office, Windows Assembly, Windows Info, all this Microsoft operating system files. Now, better forensic tools like FTK have a thing called the KFF, the known file filter. A whole bunch of this image consists of Microsoft system files, which are always the same. And so the known file filter will have a list of the hashes of known common files. And you can ignore them all because they have no personal data in them. There's no emails, there's no text messages, just part of the Windows operating system. There's nothing valuable in them. You have to image the whole drive, but then you want to ignore those files. So those tools will have a way to import and ignore all the known files. And that would be very handy here. And you can see almost everything you see adding right now is pointless. Windows files. Pretty much everything in the Windows directory is not interesting. It's part of the Windows operating system. The only thing you're going to get out of there is perhaps the log files telling you when Windows was installed and who the registered owner was. But all the rest of these files are not interesting. All right, so now I can finish. I don't think it's done. It's been added to the local database. Right, files are being analyzed. Yeah, see down here, there's a progress bar that's at 0%. So it's running, right, so actually it's up to 12%. Good, it's moving along faster than I thought. Good. Anyway, let's go look at the instructions and see what we're supposed to find here anyway. All right, it'll take a minute or so to prepare the data. Well, I would think a lot longer than that, but if it's a minute, I'm impressed. Right, wait until the processing is done. That'll take more than a minute. All right, and then we're going to have many interesting artifacts. Installed programs, documents, the recycle bin, USB devices, web downloads, web searches. You've probably seen news articles that say this person was arrested, and then the week before week before she poisoned her husband, we found her Google searches, what poison to poison your husband with. So, you know, web searches are a big thing, often goes in court and web history and so on. So here you just want to find the most recently installed program. And here you want to find the most recently used document. And here you want to find the program that has been run 59 times. You go into the prefetch folder, which is the run programs here, and you can see how many times each program has been run. So that's the useful information we talked about. And here you go look at the web searches. So there is a suspicious web search you'll find. And I don't think I'll bother waiting for all this to come up. That's what you're going to find whenever it's done importing all that data. So it's slow, but you do get a realistic practice of the kind of stuff you find on a real Windows disk image, which is what you're really going to be doing in the field. It's just so big and slow that it's kind of hard to fit into an appropriate project for this kind of class. So I'm going to stop the recording.